Hey, what's up you guys? So today's video is a little bit different and I finally got organized in the garage. So we got something here and we got a mess amongst the cars and the engine. Let me tell you what's going on. All right, you guys, so I finally cracked down and got a toolbox. The thing is it is huge. It is 61 inches wide. So this is a big sucker here. I'm trying to figure out how to organize the garage so you guys can actually help me by making some recommendations. I know it's gonna look different on camera versus reality, but we need a good workspace, but I don't want to, make this workspace smaller. So I was honestly contemplating getting like one of those huge whole like wall systems where it's like the bench and the cabinets and it looks super, super good, but only thing is then we start eating into our actual garage space. So with this, it's got 6 casters on the bottom and I can roll it around if we ever, need to squeeze something else in here. Not that we can fit a 4th car, but just in case, maybe a longer car or vehicle comes in here or whatnot. So this place is a disaster right now. I have all my tools and they all have each individual shelf. They've been sitting out for a while, so I'm gonna have to wipe this down because I'm a bit picky with that. And I have this brand new shiny toolbox. So I did a completely separate review of this toolbox on my channel, The Garage. So I've been just doing some other stuff there too, but it is pretty cool, you guys. I got this thing for a smoking deal. So it's a Husky, as you can see. It's got USB charging ports as well as breaker bar type thing. And then it's got this plug out the back, which we can plug in. So it's pretty beefy. I mean, it's not like snap-on quality, but I mean, it's decent for what it is. There's probably ones with better rollers, but I got this thing for, I don't even care about telling you guys. I got it for $580 with shipping with tax. So I didn't even have to go anywhere to pick it up. So I thought that was a decent price. But yeah, that's what I paid for it. Brand new off of Home Depot. So we got this sucker and let me get organized. I think the plan is I'm gonna move this bench over a little bit just to get close to the door. So this will come over here. And I think I'm gonna put this here since that seems to be the most sensible place, because I can't put it against that wall because then that would bring the cars over here and it would squeeze in where this post is. I can't put it there because there's no space. Definitely wouldn't put it behind there. I think what's realistically going to happen is that air compressor will probably go here in this corner, and I don't know, I was debating whether to put that 5.9, the blown up one, either there or here, but for some reason, even though that thing is super sturdy, I don't know, it gives me the heebie-jeebies just seeing it sitting there next to nice cars and stuff like that if it ever went anywhere. I mean, it's on here solid, but we got all the good hardware on there, but still, I don't know, I would never want to see that thing come crashing down and rolling into something. So that's why I kept it way the heck over here. It was like away from everything. It was like multiple feet around, but we're starting to eat into our space. So if you guys are wondering, this was my current tool situation. I had Harbor Freight tools for the longest time that we were using. I had all my actual tools, which are there in the trays. I had them back home at my mom's house, and I've been using Harbor Freight tools for the last while, you guys. So let me roll some things around. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get organized and then we'll get all that clutter and junk out of there and we'll start getting organized into this box. So let's play with it. I think I'm gonna shimmy this over here, push that way. Let's see what we end up with. Okay, so I got the toolbox here. I'm gonna start filling it up with my tools and getting it organized. I still can't decide, you guys. Does it make more sense to, because part of the problem is the lift is here, so sometimes there's some longer vehicles, and again, the perspective is gonna be hard to capture on camera, but here's the S2000. It's a very small car, and this is the amount of room that we have to work around it. So what I'm thinking is, I mean, right now the toolbox on wheels, so we can easily move that around. I think what might make a little bit more sense is put the bench right where the engine is, and then put this will probably fit, honestly, if you guys can kind of get a general idea. See where this flag is? I think the toolbox should fit between the flag and the door right there. So if I move this here, that bench over there, and then the engine could probably sit pretty much where this flag is here. I think that might work, and that'll give me a bit more floor space in case we get any bigger cars in here. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. The only thing is I don't want to put the bench too far away from the tools. So the toolbox will be there, the bench should be over there working on stuff. Other thing that's never been any consideration for me, but it is a consideration, is earthquakes, right? So I don't want that to go shaking and falling on this, as you can probably understand. So at least here it's, you know, between two things, and maybe I should anchor this thing at some point. But yeah, definitely never been a consideration, but it definitely obviously could happen. So might have to think that maybe I'll put some sort of anchor on the wall and to the back of the toolbox, just in case anything ridiculous like that ever does happen. Hopefully it doesn't, but you just never know. So what I'm gonna do right now is finally get all my tools filled up in this thing. So we got a lot of drawers to fill, boys, so let me get at it. Okay guys, so we still have a long way to go, but this is what I've got done as of so far. I got a lot of my tools in here, which I'll run through real quick with you guys. The top here, let me know what your guys' opinion is. I think I should probably at some point put the sockets up here. I do have like these socket organizers, which are super cool. But I also, so you can see I have the metric and I have the imperial ones in 1/2 inch, 3/8, and 1/4. But the only thing is I have like these socket sets have like 6 point, so let me start from the top and then I'll continue that thought. So up here I have all my pliers, I have my torque wrench, I also still have a couple other torque wrenches and stuff. Over here I went with all of kind of you know, drilling, sanding, that kind of stuff, you know, flat file, and a couple of just random things, couple, you know, tape measures. Over here we went with our Allen keys and all that kind of stuff, and just some miscellaneous stuff. And then this one, this is where we start to get into the nice stuff. So as you can see, we've got all of this here. So all of our extensions, all of our ratchets, our handles, our speed handle. This has a bunch of bits and kind of like a mini ratchet set inside of it. I've got my Johnson bars here, or breaker bars, whatever you call them. I have one of my torque wrenches. I have a bunch of other handles here. 1/4, 3/8, 1/2 inch, a bunch of extensions. I've got my swivel for the spark plug that doesn't come off. And then moving to the bottom chest, I have all of this. So this is kind of what I was mentioning. So I haven't fully organized this just yet and how I want to do it. But you can see I go all the way up to 1.25 inches. This is all the, I guess there's actually both metric and imperial here. And then these are all like the 1/2 inch things. Then we get into our 3/8 drive stuff, but I believe this kit, let me double check. See, this is where the other thing gets a little bit funny. See, it comes with 12 point and it also comes with 6 point. So that's where I'm kind of like, I don't know where I should do with the other, with those stands. I would like to almost take them out of here and put them up there so we can utilize this upper space. But this only has, so I'd have to get more, I guess, was what it comes down to. Because this only has enough for one set of 3/8, whereas I have 6 point and 12 point in metric and imperial. So that's the issue, but pretty complete kit. And then I've got a bunch of my impact sockets over here, and I gotta figure out what else I'm gonna put in here. I still have a lot more tools that I have in storage, but we'll get them all out. Obviously a ton of screwdrivers, everything from little screwdrivers and picks and whatever it takes, little screwdrivers, all the way down to here. Every single kind of screwdriver and torques and whatever. And if that's not enough, then we can get into all these security bits and everything else you could possibly imagine. So that is that. Next drawer, we've got our wrenches. I've got these cool wrenches that kind of flip 90 degrees, and it's actually got a ratchet in it. So these are Mastercraft. They're actually pretty cool, pretty nice. But I have all of these in Imperial. I don't have a metric set, but an Imperial set of that. And then I have a bunch of wrenches that I'm gonna get out tomorrow. So adjustable wrenches as well. And I'm still trying to figure out what way I want to organize this. I've got a bunch of mini wrenches. Got a bunch of these with some torque bits. I still got to organize these and put them back because this thing was in storage. So got to straighten all these guys out and get them in the right spots. But as you can see, a ton of bits here. All sorts of Allen keys on 3/8 drive. Everything looks like it's on 3/8 drive. So, but I got to get it all organized. I've got Allen keys down there. I've got Torx bits here on 1/2 inch drives, and I guess I think it's all 1/2 inch drive. I've got a bunch more Allens. I've got the special tool for the S2000. I've got the, what the heck do you call these things again? This is for Volkswagen stuff. It's like I think a 10 point socket or 8 point. Anyways, it's kind of like I don't know, I can't remember what they call these things again. It's late, you guys, sorry. But I have those, and then I have these ball head ones. And over here I put my heat gun, my angle grinder, my fancy wheel socket kit I threw in here, and just a few odds and ends. That there is my impact socket set, or impact set, or air tools I should say. Over here we got that, hammers, all that stuff, and then I haven't put anything at the bottom just yet. So still a lot of work, but I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. Let's see what we can get done tomorrow, or see how far we get, or see how much I've recorded so far. So it's the next day, and I got things a little more sorted out, a little more organized, and more to my liking. So I cleared out all the junk that was on the bottom. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna assemble some of my older Craftsman tools. If you guys are curious, see this Craftsman Tool Kit? This toolkit is pretty much what I've been working with the exception of some added tools like this Harbor Freight wrench set. And you know, obviously I've had to get some specialty tools and stuff like that. But for the majority of it, I've just been working out of this little Craftsman toolkit on all these vehicles until I actually went and got my, you know, big master set of tools that I have with everything. So it's kind of incredible to, you know, really take a step back and see what you can achieve with just a regular standard toolkit and some simple tools. You can pretty much work on a lot of stuff. So I got a lot of my things in here. I still have a lot more of my tools to fill in. I got all sorts of, you know, ratchet wrenches and stuff like that. And I got the stubbies, and I have a couple different sets of wrenches, but I kind of like the way this thing holds it. Somebody at some point, I guess I lost my 12, but I like the way this holds everything together for now. So I guess we'll stick with this. Got a bunch of different specialty tools, and I still have to get some of my stuff out of my storage totes and into the toolbox. But yeah, we're looking a lot better. I also have like a bench grinder. I have a bench drill press and a bunch of stuff, but I think if I start like lugging it out and actually putting it on the bench, it's gonna eat up a ton of space. So I think those kind of things, I'll just bring them out when I need them. But I do need to get a vise at least on this little bench. I would like to have a huge bench and a way bigger workspace, but I don't have that at this point. And I don't want to encroach too much on the actual space of the garage and having it feel claustrophobic in here, because we still need to fit the cars in here, right? So anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Right now I have to go and fix the Dakota. I'm not sure if this video will come up before or after, but I've got a few things I still have to put on these grommets for the PCV, so I've got that stuff. And right now I think it has a crank position sensor issue, so I have to go investigate that, because the truck runs fine perfectly and it'll run for like 20 minutes, half an hour, and then all of a sudden it'll just completely die out with, you know, no warning, and it won't start again. So I've also checked and it doesn't have sparks, so I think it's a crank position sensor. I'm gonna go do some testing and I'll make a separate video on that. But thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, hit that bell, and make sure you turn on all your post notifications so you're notified of all the latest videos. We'll see you on the next video.